few people coming in. But greetings and welcome to the 2015 State College of Florida MLK Day of Service celebration. There's a saying, I'm Rodney Jones, the program manager for the initiative this year. There's a saying, if you have a job that you love, you never work a day. And I can honestly say that I had a job that I loved and I never worked a day since the project started back in September. We want to recognize some of our elected officials here, starting with State Representative Darrell Roussan from District 70, who you'll hear from later. We also want to acknowledge City Councilman from the City of Bradenton, Mr. Harold Byrd, Jr. And there were several others that I think will be coming in a little bit later. We're getting out of meetings and coming in late, but just want to say welcome. We're definitely going to try to move the program along. The program will go in order. After I'm done, we'll have a prayer by Pastor Lawrence Livingston of Eternity Temple Firstborn Church, followed by some remarks and occasion by Dr. Michael Mills, Vice President of Strategic Initiatives for the State College of Florida. So we will have Mr. Livingston come up.
Good evening, everyone. Shall we enter into the realm of our Father? Our Father, our Redeemer, our Sustainer, we give thanks to you, O God, for being invited into the presence of this MLK Day Service Recognition Dinner to make petition for your mercy and your grace. We beg your forgiveness for our sins and our nation's sins. O Father, we thank you for each agency that gave you reverence doing their acts of community service on behalf of the 2015 Martin Luther King Day service. We acknowledge you have redeemed us through your precious sacrifice. You've entrusted our community to be host so many wonderful events that has enriched us by educating our community, by building this community's capacity. Father, where there's absence of trust, may your presence of unity abide. Where pain and sorrow exist, may there be healing balm for health. Where brokenness has set in, may you bring us wholeness. Where anger and strife exist, may your peace be invigorated. Where there is silence, may thy word bring understanding. And through understanding, may we all experience agape love. Therefore, we give thanks. By acknowledging your rich blessings upon our community through our state representative, Darrell Roussan, and our state legislature, our State College of Florida and its representatives to bring much financial support that is unknown or unheard of in so many places. Therefore, we give thanks. Please give us the gift of wisdom and patience, and give us loving hearts that shall always be quick to help and sympathize and slow to hurt and criticize. Finally, we ask your blessings upon our food. Please grant us fellowship so that we can experience your benevolent love. We ask it in the matchless name of our Lord Jesus Christ. And everybody says, amen.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Mears, and I'm going to be brief because the president asked me to be brief. And I like to do what the president asks. But I do want to mention on this really happy, very special occasion to bring the partners together that kind of made the MLK Day of Service so special this year. Many of you know that this is the second year that State College of Florida has kind of been involved and been able to work with our community on this. Last year we did it with Bradenton and Palmetto, and this year we were able to expand into Sarasota, just like those of you from Sarasota, just like we said we wanted to. So it worked out wonderfully. But I want to say thanks very quickly, if I can, to the planning team that put it together. And there's only a couple folks that were the core, and then lots of others here. But I see Gloria Tracy right here, our Assistant Director of Human Resources, Rodney Jones, who is the project manager, Deborah Gendrich is somewhere here, our Creative Services and Marketing Director, right over here, and George Coverly, who I think retired on us, so I don't think he's here tonight, but great group to work with. It's a very happy occasion. I grew up in St. Pete, not far away, and as a young boy, middle school age, Dr. Martin Luther King really impressed upon me my life and my beliefs in terms of equality. And it's kind of neat for me to think 45 years later, I'm still involved with something of that nature. And Representative Roussan, you know, we owe it to you to bringing this thing to us locally, and so appreciative of what you've done. So I will be brief. I'll turn it over to Dr. Carol Protzfeld, our president of State College of Florida.
Thank you, Mike. You have to understand that much of Mike's career, he was a faculty member at the State College of Florida, so when you give him the opportunity to address a room full of people, he thinks that means 50 minutes. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight to recognize and thank the individuals who contributed to the success of the 2015 Martin Luther King Day of Service. It's fitting that we honor the people, the volunteers, who committed themselves to an event honoring a man who devoted his life to selfless service. I want to thank Representative Darrell Roussan, the engine behind this event, who ensures that funding remains available in the state's budget so we can continue to do the good work year after year. I was personally inspired on January 19th when I visited the Day of Service events. I saw our SCF librarians reading about Black history to children in Bradenton. I saw a community come together to help one another with food donations. I saw people treating a federal holiday as a day to reach out to those less fortunate in their community with a helping hand. A day on, not a day off. At SCF, we're proud of our role in the Day of Service. In 2014, our first day of service, the college funded 22 local agencies for projects in Manatee County. This year, we were able to expand the program to include Sarasota County and funded 27 projects. Next year, we hope we can do even more. I want to recognize our SCF team, Dr. Mike Mears, Rodney Jones, Deborah Gingrich, Gloria Tracy, and George Coverly for bringing all of this together, and of course, all the volunteers affiliated with the college who committed their time and energy to the Day of Service events around the community. Finally, we couldn't do this without such devoted community members who come up with so many worthwhile projects and devote their time to see them through. Your commitment to Manatee and Sarasota counties is inspirational and admirable. Thank you again for all that you do to have made this year's Martin Luther King Day of Service a great success. And I can't wait to see what you'll come up with next year. Thank you.
Next, we'll have State Representative Darrell Roussan, but before he comes up, I'd like to say a couple things. I've actually enjoyed Representative Roussan over the years. He's been a very diligent representative for our district. I've actually, not only this project the last 2 years, but actually one of the Department of Juvenile Justice projects I had a pleasure of working with. So I just want to personally thank you for someone that lives in your district and has seen your hard work, and you bring the money home to where it belongs, to the needed areas and the needed projects that we've brought forth. So absolutely, we'd like to thank you. I bring you State Representative Darrell Roussan from District 70.
Good evening, and thank you for being here. And Rodney, you'll know that that program you're talking about with DJJ was back in 2010, 2011, when I was able to get $1 million put into the budget that created over 400 jobs for at-risk youth. Hillsborough County got the largest portion of that because they were the larger county. Pinellas got about 300,000, and Manatee and Sarasota split 150,000 apiece, but it created jobs for youth. Just today, I was on the phone with Secretary Christy Daly of DJJ, asking her if we can resurrect this program. I've put in for $1.5 million this year so that Manatee can get a larger share of that. So we hope that that will happen. Thank you for being here tonight. And you have no idea the goosebumps that I feel, the excitement that I feel just seeing you here and being a part of this. Dr. Protzfeld, what you and your staff has done has just been wonderful. Earlier today, I was at the Marriott Waterside in Tampa, where Steve Harvey spoke to over 1,000 people gathered because some of this funding helped to put together the Black, Brown, and College Bound program. And he really challenged folks. He talked about myths, like people told you don't put all your eggs in one basket. He said, but if the basket is your A plan, put all your eggs in it. And he said, you know how people will tell you, well, have a plan B, just in case plan A doesn't come through. He said, people will say, Steve, well, where's your plan B? He said, I don't have a plan B because plan A can't fail. That was the attitude that I had some years ago when I walked up and down MLK Street in St. Petersburg, which is the only day of the year you can smoke dope, drink liquor in front of a cop and not get arrested. And every year, unlike Bradenton, our parade devolves into debauchery on the day of service, trying to honor the legacy of the man of peace who gave his life in service to some sanitation workers in Memphis. And that's the understory of this program. The fact that we are challenged. When President Clinton signed that legislation in 1994, challenging every American to transform the holiday into a day of service, that's where the concept came from. You are part of a statewide movement. Tomorrow in Pinellas, we will have our awards luncheon honoring the groups that participated in Pinellas. Next week, Broward is having theirs. We now have 4 community colleges when we started with 1 just 2 years ago. And with the additional funding that I've asked for this year, and I'm gonna ask you to pray on that, not everybody is excited about what we've been doing. We've got a whole different budget this year, a different appropriations method, and you know what I'm talking about. And I'm very hopeful that we will get funded again. But every day I'm there, I'm fighting to make this day of service expand. And what we really need your help on is making sure that our private industries partner with us and participate with us as we do service in our community. So I'm honored that you're here. I'm grateful that the program continues to work. Thank you.
It's my honor tonight to introduce the 2015 MLK Day of Service participants. And as I call your name, will one of you, the representatives, please stand? The Alpha Phi Alpha Foundation of Minnesota. Thank you. Beauty Plus Network. Bethel's Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County. Brotherhood of Men Mentor Group. Daltrey Elementary School. Diamonds in the Rough. Educational Consortium, Consultants Consortiums. Okay. Equality Early Childhood Literacy. Eternity Temple Firstborn Church. Family Heritage House. Florida Studio Theater. Genesis Health Services. Manatee NAACP. Orange Ridge Bullock Elementary School. Artesia Restaurant. Peace Education and Action Center. Practical Home Economics Health Literacy Project. Redeem Christian Church. Sarasota MLK Celebration Committee. Sarasota School of Arts and Sciences. Sarasota Bradenton Kappa Alpha Psi Project Guide Right. SCF Diversity Multicultural Awareness Committee. St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church. Strength in Action. Turner Chapel AME Church, and Zeta Phi Beta sorority with 5 pearls of excellence. Thank you all so much for participating. We will begin our dinner, and as you're enjoying your meal, we will have a slide presentation of the 2015 participants on their day of service. And for our entertainment, we will have music by Richie Johnson.
Richard, before you start, I just want to recognize Harold Smith, who came in a little late, who was the new city commissioner for the city of Palmetto. And to Representative Roussan, we all know behind every great man, there's a great woman. So I wanted to say hello to Mr. Tennille Moore, who is his executive secretary here in Manatee and Sarasota County, who keeps him in line. And we'll have a musical interlude by Richie Johnson while dinner is served. And thank you all.
I have to be brief, so I can't brag too much about our college, but you know, our music program just a couple weeks ago had a competition. There are 16 prizes given out throughout the entire state, 16 prizes. SCF took home 8 of them, 8 of the 16. Don't get me going, but next weekend, our Brain Bowl, guess where they're going? They're going to the national tournament up in Atlanta. National tournament, state champions. Number 1. Wait, number 1 in the nation. Number 1 in the nation. Our Brain Bowl. Jim Brown, did you hear that? We're not just talking athletics anymore. We're talking Brain Bowl. All right. All right, I'm going to plug 2 things. And this will be something you are going to be lucky to see on your way out today. I'm going to help walk you over there after we're done with the program, which I promise will be done by midnight, okay? And that is, we have 2 excellent exhibits going on at our college. One is at our Family Heritage House Museum, which is about 120 feet out the door. You'll see that in a minute, Family Heritage House Museum. Some of you have already been there, I know. But the other is going on at our art gallery. So Kathy Marsh has arranged for the Family Heritage House Museum to be open right after this event. And then Joe Locosano is our art gallery manager. And John Sims' exhibit is an exhibit there, and you really want to see that. Just spend about 10 minutes. Just kind of soak it in. Enjoy it. We'll have it open right after this event is closed. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Rodney Jones to keep things moving. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mears. This is my absolute favorite part of the program, where we get to recognize all of our recipient organizations. Absolutely a beautiful process, beautiful projects. We actually had quite a few apply. Actually, we had 80 different organizations attend our informational sessions. We had 4 informational sessions offered to the community. Of those 80, we had 40 apply. Of the 40 applied, we narrowed it down through a competitive grant process, and thank you to our team of SCF reviewers, very diverse and eclectic team of staffers that reviews those applications and scores those applications for us. We ended up with 27 projects. Of the 27 projects, we put $135,000, where did Mr. Roussan go? We put $135,000 of those dollars that he brought to the community out into the projects. Out into the different projects, and they were between Manatee and Sarasota County, primarily down District 70, and very eclectic and diverse projects. So with that came 90 plus organizations involved and over 1,000 volunteers, actually 1,022 by my calculation, volunteers that contributed to those projects. So I think everyone should give themselves a hand. Personally, I'd like to thank my team, my immediate team, which was Miss Susie Copeland, who's our project coordinator. Susie. And we got a wonderful find, Miss Mercedes Costa. When Dr. Mears contacted me about coming back to manage the program, I needed an administrative person, a clerical person, and I actually contacted Representative Roussan's office and talked to Tennille, and she sent me over some applications, and I went through the application. I called her, and she told me she was already working. Had a great resume, and so I told her how Dr. Mears walks around with a joke book, and it's a wonderful place to work. There's ice cream given out every day. You know, no one works. You know, it's just a beautiful place to be, and you get paid for this at the same time. So she said, "Well, I don't know. I'm kind of in the job that I'm in." And then a couple days later, she called back and asked about the ice cream and asked about the joke books, and she eventually came on. And only thing I can say is, what a find. She's originally from Barcelona, only been in the United States for a couple years, and I just can't say enough about her. Just her professionalism, very forward thinking, is just an incredible talent, and I just want to, really thank her and tell her I love her very much. We've been looking for her a job because it's a temporary assignment for us every year, and she actually applied for a job here at the college, and she will be working in our collegiate school here at SCF, and so we're very proud of her and very happy for her, and she has a couple words she would like to say.
Well, I wanted to say a little bit of something. This is my second speech. The first one was in US too. So, good evening. I am Mercè Costa. As many as you already know, I am from Barcelona, Catalunya, Spain. I remember as a child watching documentaries, news about Martin Luther King Jr. in my country, learning about his thoughts and his goals, and feeling empathy with his reasons. In my country, we didn't have many different races and cultures, so I never understood that the skin's color could be a reason for having more or less rights. Something I could not imagine at all is that one day I would be living in the USA and working with the project of that man that I saw on TV when I was a child. I'm so grateful to have been a little part of this project. Each organization's enthusiasm in carrying out their dreams has been contagious. I felt part of changing dreams into reality. I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Mears, George Caberly, Gloria Tracy, Deborah Wingrek, and Susie Copeland, and especially to Ronnie Jones for giving me this opportunity and believing in my potential. It has been a pleasure working with all of you. Moltes gràcies. Thank you very much.
And Ms. Copeland, I don't want you to think I shortchanged you because we love you. You've just been around so long, everyone knows you. And Susie just took Sarasota County for me and marketed and has been a wonderful asset as well. So I didn't want you to feel slighted as well. And we talk all the time anyway. So we'll get into the projects and what we're going to have you do. One person from each organization, whoever you choose, would come up and accept your certificate. And once again, just a beautiful process. I had a great time. And we hope to see you again, hopefully in September, October, and hopefully in September and not October. I would also like to thank all of you for dealing with some of the barriers and impediments that were outside of the college's control. We got a late start again this year, but all of you were very gracious and very short timeline, and everybody grumbled at least once or twice, but we managed to stick together and get it done and pull off beautiful projects, so we want to thank you for that. So we will start with the Alpha Phi Alpha Foundation of Minnesota. And if you could give a little clap, please. Thank you very much. I'll just read the initial certificate. I definitely won't read all, but Certificate of Recognition to Alpha Phi Alpha Foundation of Minnesota, Inc., in acknowledgement and appreciation for volunteer efforts on the 2015 MLK Day of Service. Your project exemplified the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Your commitment, I should be this way, shouldn't I? Your commitment to the spirit of volunteerism has helped build a stronger community. We can't thank you enough. Appreciate it. Thank you. Next will be Beauty Plus Network, a very neat project. They actually provided respite services to caregivers where they went into ALFs and assisted living facilities and offered respite massages. I should have showed up to a couple of those massages and haircuts and manicures and pedicures, and they couldn't thank you enough. So we really want to appreciate you for your efforts. Thank you. Bethel Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. Great project down at the North Sarasota County Library. We want to appreciate you for all your efforts. I appreciate you. Love you, brother. Love you. Appreciate you. Huh? Appreciate you. Okay, Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County. They had a backpack giveaway, basketball tournament, some speeches over at the club. Very well attended event, and we'd like to thank you for your effort. And as always, and this is actually my church brother here too as well, and so we want to thank you for your efforts. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Brotherhood of Men Mentoring Group. Long-standing mentor group in Sarasota County, Newtown community, primarily working with black boys. How long you been going now, Dominique? 8 years. And Dominique is a new Sarasota County police officer as well. And I've actually had a chance to speak down at that mentoring group. So we want to thank you and hope you continue your efforts. And we appreciate you so much. Thank you very much. Daughtry Elementary. Had a project relating to a community garden and also took a trip to Birmingham, Alabama to see some of the King sites and took how many kids? 12? 14 children up and went very well. And we appreciate you so much and hope to see you next year.
We'll be there.
Okay.
Next year.
All right. Thank you. Diamonds in the Rough. All right. One of our local mentoring groups, primarily working with African-American girls, and had an event down in the East Braden Park that has not always had the best reputation in the community, but we had an absolutely wonderful time there, very relaxed time, and we want to thank you for your continued efforts and work. All right, thank you. I should just say Barbara Harvey. But ECC, Educational Consultants Consortium, and Ms. Harvey is recently retired from the school board. Yeah, look at her. And had a beautiful project, added a computer lab, took a trip also to Polk City to the Polytech University, and he continues her work, STEM Center, and started actually the community's first community-based STEM center in Manatee County. So we want to praise you for all your diligence on the school board for those school system for those 50 years, and hope you continue that strong work in the community. We appreciate you. Yeah. Equality Early Childhood Literacy. Caught you putting that glass up to your mouth, didn't I? And we want to thank you. I had a book giveaway, and we want to thank you for your continued work. And we want to thank you.
That's okay.
That's
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
All right, thank you. Eternity Temple Firstborn. My good friend, Pastor Livingston, started the neighborhood's really first community garden in an area that has been designated as a fresh fruit and vegetable desert. And he's got a very nice community garden going on a parcel right beside his church. So we want to thank you for your continued efforts. And once again, we look forward to seeing you next year. All right, thank you. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you. Family Heritage House. Very nice program that they put together in several different pieces. I actually had the opportunity to attend the movie Selma with the group. Is that you, Miss Edwards? It's not me. Actually had a chance to attend the we actually had the opportunity to attend Selma, and so we attended with over 100 community members, and it was a very powerful experience, along with many other things that they did. But I actually had a chance to. There was several generations in that movie, and just experience was. I was there with my daughter, and there were older members of the community, and it was a very wonderful experience. So I want to thank you for your continued work, and we love you, and I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Florida Studio Theater. All right. They did some spoken word and exposure for young people, several workshops. And we want to thank you for your continued work because so many times when people look at our kids, it's just in the genre of sports, but we know that our kids can do so much more. So we want to thank you for your efforts, and you keep pushing and you keep pushing hard. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. Okay. Genesis Health Services. They actually partnered with Bethel and had their event together at the North County Library, but what they did was offered free assessments, medical and dental assessments, had some dentists volunteer their time and actually were able to get in some good work at that community center. Very well attended at the library. We thank you so much for your efforts. We thank you. Manatee County NAACP. The Manatee County branch of the NAACP has been really working hard over a series of events to strengthen the relationship between the community and law enforcement that has been strained, to say the best, over the years. And it has been a vision of the president of the branch to bridge that gap, and I believe it is right here, coming together. So we want to appreciate that very well-attended event, and very needed event. So we want to have you continue your works, and we appreciate you very much. All right, thank you. Orange Ridge, Bullock. Miss Fanny, always smiling. I actually took a group of kids up to Atlanta to see the King Museum and King Home, and I want to thank you. And also had a recognition of some veterans at the Veterans Memorial at the Riverwalk. So we want to thank you very much for your continued works. And it's actually the second year that they were awarded. I want to say too that they didn't get the full amount that they requested, but they band together, they beat the bushes in the community, and they were still able to carry their project forward. So we want to thank you for your efforts to. What'd you say? My partner and my mother. Yeah, your partner Sharon. You want to raise your hand, Sharon? They beat the bushes. Oh, there she is. And we want to thank you so much for what you do for children every day. All right, thank you. Peace Education and Action Center. Did I? Okay. Okay. Give me Peace Education. Thank you. And put together a expressive arts program for the community in Sarasota. We want to thank you for your commitment to the community and also the children, and we hope to see you next year. So we thank you very much.
And I just want to say part of the program was actually building a tiny house as well, which we'll be donating to Trinity Without Borders. And the project is ongoing, but we're going to finish it up at the end of March, and you didn't get to the opening, so we want to see you at the closing. And all of you are invited too. So
I'll definitely be there. Ortesia Restaurant? Ortesia? Okay, Ortesia isn't here, but they fed 600 people from the community. I did attend that event, and very, very nice event. Had the opportunity to hear some wonderful stories of perseverance, people coming off really hard economic times. And so the second year being in fun, and had a beautiful event in the Village of the Arts. Practical Home Economics Health Literacy Project. And thank you very much. And one of the projects that were awarded in Sarasota, and do several different things there. We want to thank you for your efforts and your continued support of community, and we look forward to seeing you next year. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. All right, thank you. In the back. Okay, Redeemed Christian Center. Pastor Glenn Evans, who I've known for a very long time, they do a kind of mid-year backpack giveaway. They have actually one of the larger backpack giveaways and events in the community every year, where they provide haircuts and health screenings and a number of activities for young people. So I want to thank you for your hard work, and thank your team as well, and we really appreciate you. All right, thanks a lot. Thank you. Sarasota MLK Celebration Committee. And Shay helps to spearhead the effort of the entire MLK celebration that happens in Sarasota. And I think this is the what year? 33rd year this past year of the events in Sarasota. So we want to thank you and thank you for all your efforts and continued support of community. All right, thank you very much. Sarasota School of the Arts and Sciences. Okay. Sarasota Braden Kappa Alpha Psi Project Guide Right. All right. I grew up with this guy. And now he's gotten tall, and I feel like Kevin Hart next to him. I know I've always been short, is what it says. But we appreciate you and what you're doing with those young men there and what they have as a house right in the community that's open to the community and do mentoring and run programs out of there for kids. And they took the money, did some much needed renovations to the house to make it better for the people that they serve. So we really appreciate you and all your efforts. Rod's also an educator here in Manatee County as well. SEF Diversity Multicultural Awareness Committee. Beautiful project. They partnered with the Boys and Girls Club in Sarasota and did some much needed renovations, some landscaping, added some playground equipment, some inside furnishing. So we want to thank you for your efforts. And actually, my partner Gloria, who's on our core MLK Day of Service team, is actually a part of that committee. So we want to thank her as well for her hard work. You don't get enough recognition there, so I'll give you a plug now. So we really want to thank you for your efforts. Thank you very much. St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church. Anyone here from St. Paul? Well, St. Paul actually trying to bridge the gap with some computer literacy and put together a program for actually for senior citizens where they partnered school-age kids with who acted as mentors to guide them through basic computer skills. And you should hear some of the, oh, Sharon, you're going to come up and accept. Okay, great. This is City Councilman Bird's beautiful wife, St. Paul. And so to hear some of the kids explain what the mouse was, and then the person asked back, well, why they call it a mouse? It was a very enjoyable experience, so we want to thank you on behalf of the MLK Day of Service team. Thank you. All right, thank you. Strength in Action. My good friend Alfred James, who is the coordinator of Manatee County Drug Courts and also a local pastor. Very involved in the community, and they actually were able to join partnership with Diamonds in the Rough and partner at their event and actually provide some much needed mid-year backpacks and school supplies for our students. So we want to appreciate you and thank you very much for all your efforts, Mr. James. You're welcome. All right, thank you. Turner Chapel AME. Miss Judy Brown, she gets on, why do you say my whole name every time? Miss Judy Brown. And Turner's Chapel is actually a long-standing church in city of Palmetto, and they provided scholarships to much-needed dollars to students that were already accepting and attending college through a competitive process that they had at the church. So we would like to thank you for all your efforts to support community. Thank you very much, Judy Brown. And last but certainly not least is Zeta Phi Beta Sorority with the 5 Pros of Excellence. And Shelley will be coming up to accept this. Shelley is a local attorney in Sarasota and very active in the community. A very effective project that you have. So we'd like to thank you for all your efforts. And Shelley is also first putting her hat in at a run at public office for the first time. So we wish her well, and we want to thank you for your efforts. Okay, thank you. Okay. Well, that concludes our project. So we'd like to everyone to give everybody a hand. We appreciate it. Yeah, with the recipients of the actual, who came up and got the awards, would you come back up, please, for a quick group photo? That would make us very happy, one for the archives. And we'll also make sure you get a copy of it as well. And while we're transitioning up quickly, I'd like to encourage you to attend the exhibits, Ken Killing Ken at the Heritage House and the exhibit at the Neal Auditorium. Our great guide, Dr. Mears, is going to be guiding you over in a minute. And this will be very quick. In closing, once again, thank you for the minor interruption, if we would call that minor. We'd like to say thank you very much for your participation, your support. I would like to say thank you once again to Representative Rousson, Dr. Postfield, for your wisdom and guidance. My wonderful, wonderful boss, Dr. Mears, the entire steering committee, Gloria, Deborah, George. But I want to thank everyone for their participation, Mercedes and Susie, and all of you who put in the hours and the time to pull off the projects. We want to thank you for your efforts and support. So once again, thank you for attending the 2015 MLK Day of Service, State College of Florida MLK Day of Service event. And the good-looking guy in the back with that very loud M&M tie is Dr. Mears, my boss. And those of you who are interested in walking over to the exhibits, I really encourage you to do so. They're wonderful exhibits. He will be your guide, and if you will follow him. And once again, we hope to see you next year, and thank you very much for coming. Thank you.